Thanks very much for tuning into Unmissable. I'm Nabila Jamal. As always, I take you through news from India and across the globe. I start with our top story on Deep Dive today. Bangladesh boycotts India for the upcoming T20 World Cup. It's now become a huge diplomatic strain between the two countries after BCCI decided to drop off Mustafizur Rahman from the KKR team. Direction was given to KKR to basically remove him after he was bought on auction for the upcoming IPL. So Bangladesh has not taken it well, says our players will not be safe in India, so we do not want to play in India. We're going to take you through with our panelists on whether this was the right decision, should diplomacy and sports intermingle. And also on our top story tonight, we have women stripped of their dignity thanks to X's AI chatbot, Grok, with its new edit photo feature, is exposing perverts online. I'm going to take you through that story. And finally, Madras High Court clearing the way for the Karthigai Deepam. It's a huge win for Hindu groups who wanted to light the lamp right atop the hill close to the Dargah. The High Court upholds the prior order. I always start with the headlines. Supreme Court slams the CAQM for casual approach to Delhi NCR air pollution, calling for urgent corrective action. Top courts direct CAQM to hold expert consultations and submit a comprehensive report on causes and long-term solutions. Sonia Gandhi has been admitted to Delhi's SIR Gangaram Hospital with respiratory discomfort. Doctors say her condition is stable. Asthma exacerbated by cold weather and pollution, it appears. India unveils new projects on Chenab River. The Kwar hydroelectric project, 540 megawatts, highlighted in images after Indus Water Treaty, put on hold now following Pahalgam attack. Degrading AI generated images of women and children continue on X despite suspension pledge. Indian government now gives the X platform 72-hour notice to respond, yet the platform has not got back. Claims emerge of Jamaat-e-Islami collecting jizya from Hindus, minorities in Bangladesh. Allegations surface amid US backing of Dhaka regime, raising fears of Islamist ascendancy. Siddaramaiah has equalled Devraj Aras's record as Karnataka's longest-serving chief minister. He expressed confidence about completing his full 5-year term. "35 dead in Iran protests. Over 1,200 detained in Iran amid protests escalating there. People target revolutionary guards and the Basij in historic demonstration that's now broken out in Iran due to economic crisis and a lot more. Denmark, European Union allies reject Trump's Greenland push. Leaders say Arctic security must be collective, insist Greenland's future ties with Denmark and its people. Trump administration expands visa bond requirement, adds 7 more countries to that list. Applicants from 13 nations now face up to $15,000 of bonds if they want to get a visa to United States, and that will also not assure a visa. This is an entry fee, and then they will check on the credentials. Thankfully, India not on that list. All right, we're looking at India-Bangladesh cricketing conflict that's now become a diplomatic standoff. Bangladesh boycotts India World Cup. Cricket is no longer, as from what we see in the recent past year, cricket is no longer just cricket. It's become collateral damage in a fast escalating diplomatic and political standoff. What began as an IPL decision has now spiraled into a World Cup crisis. The forced release of Bangladeshi cricketer Mustafizur Rahman from the upcoming IPL season following sustained social media attacks on Kolkata Knight Riders and its owner Shah Rukh Khan by Hindutva groups and political voices. Some leaders within the BJP as well voiced their opposition, condemned Shah Rukh Khan for selecting a Bangladeshi player in the KKR team. That's now widened to diplomatic strains between India and Bangladesh. It seems like this controversy has led to a further impact on the two countries' ties. The trigger was quite clear. KKR had earlier signed Mustafizur Rahman for 9.2 crores after his name was cleared and included on the official auction list by the same BCCI who's now asked KKR to drop it. Days later, BCCI stepped in after all that backlash, and Secretary Devjit Saikia confirmed that the board instructed KKR to release Bangladeshi pacer, citing recent developments. The franchise was told that it could find a replacement, but he's got to be dropped. So the repercussion is that Bangladesh now says they do not want to play in India for the upcoming T20 World Cup. They believe that India is not a safe place for their players. This was clearly not a cricketing call, it was a political one. Bangladesh has responded, and Bangladesh Cricket Board has revoked Mustafizur's no objection certificate right after that boycott of him from KKR. It appears Bangladesh also has now imposed an indefinite ban on IPL telecast across Bangladesh, which has a huge following for IPL. So IPL loses out on that audience. And then comes the biggest escalation. It's announced that it will not travel to India for ICC's Men's T20 World Cup 2026, officially citing security concerns. And this is indeed huge. To say that they're not safe in India is certainly telling. The tournament is scheduled from Feb 7 to March 8, 2026 across India and Sri Lanka. The ICC is yet to respond on this. But what does it say when Bangladesh says that their cricketers feel unsafe in a country like India? Well, we are not Bangladesh. We do not have political turmoil right now. Our country is stable. There are no street protests. There's no killings is happening. But yet Bangladesh believes that India is unsafe. Now, the neighboring country is saying that its players may not be able to come into India because they feel threatened. Bangladesh's youth and sports advisor Asif Nazrul went further, openly welcoming the boycott and calling for Bangladesh's matches to all be shifted out from India to Sri Lanka, accusing India of extremist communal policies. Back home, though, in India, political reactions, of course, have begun. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has warned against turning sport into a casualty of political escalation, reminding that cricket diplomacy has historically acted as a bridge, not a battleground. But the backdrop cannot be ignored either. In Bangladesh, violence has happened. Minorities are feeling threatened. Hindus have been killed. In fact, in just 18 days, 6 Hindus in Bangladesh have been killed. Among them, a grocery store owner on Monday, in fact, Sarat Mani Chakrabarti in Narsingdi, he was killed. A day earlier, journalist Rana Pratap Bairagi in Jashore was killed. And 29-year-old Deepu Chandra Das, who was lynched over alleged blasphemy, claims. India has expressed grave concern over this. India says that it calls out this continued hostility towards minorities, minority Hindus in Bangladesh, which is right now governed by the interim government led by Mohammad Yunus. So many questions that are unavoidable. We understand that there is threat to Hindus in Bangladesh, but should this mix with sports? Has IPL become an extension of foreign policy altogether? Can a World Cup survive bilateral politics? If Mustafizur Rahman played multiple IPL seasons without incident in the past, what's really changed now? And has the line that separates sport from politics finally been crossed? South Asian cricket is at a crossroads, and the cost may be far bigger than one player, one league, or just one World Cup. We bring in Satya Prakash, Vice Chairperson and spokesperson of the KPCC, joining us, of the Congress. Ashok KM Gowda, spokesperson, BJP, joining us live from Karnataka, and Neeru Bhatia, senior sports journalist. Thanks all of you. Let me bring in our Congress spokesperson. Sir, what's your take, Satya Prakash? We know that Priyank Kharge has condemned this, asking what was the need for the Bangladeshi cricketer to be dropped. Moreover, questioning why Shah Rukh Khan is being targeted for his team roping in a Bangladeshi player, because there's no rules that says, at least there were no rules earlier that said Bangladeshi players cannot be bought. BCCI themselves selected him for the auction. And then after all the backlash online, and even some of the BJP leaders themselves raised some, I wouldn't say concerns, it was in fact, the language that was used was awful, calling Shah Rukh Khan a traitor, gaddar and whatnot. I mean, not welcoming of leaders from a party like the BJP, but well, it was said. And now the BCCI, it seems like they've buckled to the Hindutva groups and the pressure online, and they've decided to move out Mustafizur Rahman. He's been dropped. Now, it was expected for Bangladesh to react, and Bangladesh says our players are not going to be safe in India. That's certainly shocking, but not surprising.
Hi, Nabila. It's very unfortunate that sports is being held hostage due to politics. There should not be collective punishment. If some problem is there in Bangladesh, you cannot treat the whole. Tomorrow, will you say there will not be any important export to Bangladesh? This is not how foreign policy is determined. It is high time this government, Modi government, learns ABCD of what foreign policy is all about. Foreign policy is not a knee-jerk reaction for everything. It is just like saying, Trump has put sanctions on India. No, they've put some tariffs. Will we not go to Olympics? The problem is, Mr. Amit Shah son, Mr. What is his name? The BCCI, the ICC president. He can go and give shake hand to all the Pakistani players, but the Indian team can't. How long can foreign policy be determined by like this? It is similar to earlier, when we said, all the Chinese apps will not be there in India, but we continue to trade with China. It is high time that, this Modi government learns what is foreign policy, goes and reads the history books. What was the foreign policy during Jawaharlal Nehru? What was the foreign policy during Indira Gandhi? How did Narasimha Rao, Rajiv Gandhi and Manmohan Singh foreign policy, which earned praise across the world? What was Panchashil? What was non-aligned movement? Today, our foreign policy is in doldrums. Today, you're fighting with Pakistan, you're fighting with Bangladesh. Tomorrow, you will fight with, Sri Lanka. You're going to fight with all of them for silly reasons. Yes, there are problems in Bangladesh. I'm not telling no, every life counts. But what should you do? Mr. Modi should pick up the phone, call their, interim president and tell, it is his duty to safeguard the minorities of the country. We have our stakes with Bangladesh because that country was created by India. It was Mrs. Indira Gandhi who created that country. We have deep relationships with them, and it is a strategic relationship. Today, see what has happened. Just because we have asked, just because Shah Rukh Khan is a Muslim, just imagine if Mustafizur Rahman was part of Mumbai, India. Would the same reaction would have come from all the bucks? Today, I am getting a feeling that this Modi government is run by their bucks. Whatever their bucks write on the, Twitter, whatever their bucks write on Facebook, that is becoming the policy of the Modi government. This is not how a sane government works. At best, I can call on foreign policy. Modi's government will be similar to what Tughlaq government was few centuries back. A foreign policy is such that we cannot do these knee-jerk reactions. What has happened? We have banned Mustafir. They are saying they will not come to World Cup. So what are we getting? Will the violence stop just because we send Mustafir back? No, violence will not stop. What a sane statesman should do is, he should pick the call him. If not, send our foreign minister to Bangladesh. Talk to them and make sure that every Hindu's life matters. This is what Mr. Modi should do. Instead of saying, I will ban Mustafir, I will not allow Chinese apps. This is not for how foreign policy has to be determined by a big country like us. Today, the world economy is open. We're no longer a closed economy. Today, we are banning Mustafir. Tomorrow, are we saying that we will not export or import anything from Bangladesh? Is that the policy of this government? This is not how foreign policy runs. It's a good government, a government with some sense, talks with people. By not talking to people, the distance for the solution will go up. That is what exactly happened with Trump. It is now happening with Bangladesh. We need to talk it out. Foreign policy is all about talking, not staying aloof is all I want to say, Nabila, right now.
Right. Ashok K.M. Kauda, I have not heard of any senior BJP leader speak on lines of some Hindutva trolls. But yet, ultimately, BCCI has buckled, I believe. I don't know what is the BJP stance, what is the central government stance. Centre has not spoken a word on this. The BCCI silently decided that he should be dropped. And repercussions were expected, and Bangladesh has responded. They say that our players are going to feel unsafe in India. That's a huge international statement to send out.
See, very simple, Nabila. This is not related to central government at all.
Yeah.
Our dear friend Satya Prakash ji was trying to say national policy, international policy, all these nonsense things. But probably he does not know that, our BCCI president is Mithun Manas, is an elected president, and he has a complete right to take whatever the stand he wants to. And if he has said that if Bangladeshi players should not play in the next season of IPL, that is left to him. Central government has a complete different policy. We know how to control our neighbors and how to manage with our neighbors. See, here the point is very simple. The situation in Bangladesh, whatever is happening, the Bangladesh government should know what to do. As a neighboring country and a country wherein we want to protect every right of every citizens. And some people, just because they are Hindus, they are getting hacked to death. And that is why it is definitely our concern that Hindus are getting hacked to death there. Even if the Christian gets to hacked to death in Bangladesh, we are definitely concerned. So that is what is the policy of central government is. And here, if the BCCI has decided, it is left to them. So BCCI can clarify that why they did not want a Bangladeshi to play in an IPL. Of course, there is some troops which are definitely trolling and saying some words which are, some might feel that it is objectionable, some might feel that it is their thoughts. And India has got complete freedom. And India, same Congress party has called our Modi ji as Saap. It is a poisonous snake. And they have addressed him with lot of words. 93 different times they have scolded Narendra Modi. We have taken that also. We know how to answer that. That is part one. Part two now. Papa, Satya Prakash ji does not know. Our Soumya Reddy, Karnataka's ex-MLA, that is Ramlinga Reddy's daughter. She, you know what she tweeted or what she openly said in a media also? When India and Bangladesh were playing cricket match recently, last season, she openly said, when India is fighting with Pakistan, how can Indian players play with Pakistan cricket match? That's what she said. Please check the records. So here the duality of the mind and the Congress's hypocrisy is exhibited. Satya Prakash ji probably does not know whose side he should take, whether he should take Priyanka Kharge's side or to Soumya Reddy's side. Probably is confused. And let him clarify. Let him clarify his two leaders. Soumya Reddy will be the minister. Next minister.
He is the BJP spokesperson telling that the BJP government's foreign policy will be determined by one ex-MLA of the Congress party.
I will not speak.
Will foreign policy of India and foreign policy of the Modi government be determined by one ex-MLA of Congress party?
There's no overriding. I just wanted his response on that.
Foreign policy of the country cannot be determined by one individual's opinion. Foreign policy of this country will be determined by long-term.
No, but is it true, Satya Prakash? Is it true, Satya Prakash, that the Congress has said why should India play Bangladesh when Hindus are being targeted? One of your own leaders, Soumya Reddy, has said it. We hear.
No, that's what I'm saying, ma'am. Foreign policy of the country, foreign policy.
So
of the central government.
you're saying your leaders also should be ignored. Ideally, they should not influence foreign policy. Okay.
Foreign policy of Modi's government, foreign policy of the country will not be determined by one ex-MLA's, even if she is Congress party, by one ex-MLA's position. Our national foreign policy will not be determined.
Okay.
Please
Now
Please be truthful.
He is saying that Mithun Manas is independent enough to take decision. BCCI will never take such a decision without tactic understanding of the Home Ministry. He should understand this small thing. Such sort of a diplomatic problem, the BCCI will never take without taking the union government into confidence. Please understand. Will BCCI has enough guts to take such a big decision without Mr. Amit Shah's approval? Without Mr. Modi's approval, can BCCI, Mithun Manas take this decision? No, Mithun Manas doesn't have guts to take decision without the go-ahead from Mr. Amit Shah. Whatever happens, the implications of this decision is totally not on BCCI. It is on
Okay.
Mr. Modi
Can I
and Amit
please bring
Shah.
in our sports
The
journalist,
implications
Ms.
of this
Neeru,
decision
also?
is on your government.
Neeru, you know, I brought in politicians or spokesperson from political parties because I knew this is exactly what is happening. In India, there's blame game going on. Ultimately, it's for the centre, the Foreign Affairs Ministry to decide how to play this diplomatically, how to respond diplomatically, but to use sports and a cricket game to convey a diplomatic message is not something we see too often. Though our BJP spokesperson here says that BCCI's decision was independent without any pressure from the government really. But I'm not too sure. What would be your opinion on this?
Nabila, I'll start with what happened just recently with the Asia Cup. What happened there? That India would play all its matches in Dubai and that there would be no handshakes with Pakistan. That was a decision which was conveyed by the BCCI to ICC, but it was obviously with the blessings of the government in power. Let's be very honest. The operation is still underway. Operation Sindoor, and it's not over, and this was in the aftermath of that when that decision was taken. So saying that there will be no politics and cricket cannot be mixed is a myth, because it has been mixed when it comes to India and Pakistan playing each other, especially in cricket, or our other neighbors also. And secondly, this whole Bangladesh affair, the BCCI telling KKR to release Mustafi-ur-Rahman is obviously after a lot of well thought out decision coming from the past that there are people like Jay Shah, who's the ICC president, who was a former BCCI president. There are the current president, Mithun Manas, and all the current dispensation obviously has the backing of the Indian government also. So it was clearly a very well thought out decision that and a retaliatory decision that what was happening in Bangladesh.
Now we see Bangladesh has responded.
Whether that is right or wrong is a totally separate issue. But yes, the decision was taken beyond the BCCI.
Okay. Now let's get to the right or wrong of it. As a sports journalist, how would you view this situation? For BCCI to send out a diplomatic statement by dropping Mustafizur, and you say it's likely that they had pressure from the government, and it's understood, right? These are unsaid things. But how rare is it for a national board like the Bangladesh Cricket Board to pull out of a World Cup, citing security reasons against a host nation?
No, that I think Bangladesh is just,
responded with spite.
Taking a position. But let's be very honest, and I'm sure the gentlemen on the panel also agree, that when it comes to cricket, world cricket in India, BCCI is the strongest power. Be it because of the money that it brings in, or be it because of the results that it brings in. It's not just, it is the most powerful board within the cricket, international cricket scenario. So I would still feel that Bangladesh was moved to say that we can't come to India to play the T20 World Cup is just a retaliatory move. But having said that, from what I have understood from my sources in international cricket, that with asking to move the Bangladesh matches out of India, Sri Lanka is the co-host, and let's say suppose it has to move all its matches to Sri Lanka at the last moment, just a month away, the tournament is just a month away, it's not going to be easy at all, because then the entire group in which Bangladesh plays, all their matches will have to be reworked and moved to other centers. So it's going to be a very tall order, and I think from what I have learned is that the ICC will have to take a call on it soon, by let's say by the end of in a week's time, and doing this, moving Bangladesh's matches out as well as the other group members in which it is playing matches out is going to be a logistical nightmare.
Okay, when you say certainly it will be a logistical nightmare, but and like you also said, Bangladesh is reacting. To say that our cricketers will not feel safe in your country what does that do to India's image? You know, as a
Nothing.
safe,
India,
neutral sporting ground, India's image, does it take a beating when a country like Bangladesh says we feel threatened?
no, I don't think so, because the other countries are all coming. Australia, England, South Africa, Pakistan, everybody is coming to India to play. It's just Bangladesh which is now positioning itself like this, because we've taken the Indian Cricket Board has taken a call to drop its player from IPL.
Is that
I don't
now
think
the
India's
Indian board
reputation takes
taking a
beating.
call to drop the player from IPL? It's unprecedented. Possibly, I don't know if this has happened before. You could enlighten
Well,
us.
it's let's be very honest. It is a very unsaid thing, but for a long time, Pakistani players have not been picked in IPL. It's been many years, many seasons. It's very obvious. Since when was the last time the
But
Pakistani players
isn't there a
played
formal
in IPL?
ban? I thought Pakistan had a formal ban on IPL
What is a
players.
formal ban? There is no. It's just that India and Pakistan
Hey,
don't
intervene,
have
Nabila.
bilateral cricket relationships, and therefore they are not getting the Pakistani players in the pool of players for the players auction.
Correct.
But the fact is that the Pakistan
but
players
now-
are not part of
Okay,
the
but Pakistan
IPL.
being Pakistan, India does not play in Pakistan. Pakistan does not come to play in India.
And
So that's been a
Bangladesh
long-standing.
has come to that point. It's India, Bangladesh cricket has also come to that point where
but
playing bilateral tournaments is not going to be easy. At least going to Bangladesh and playing in the current scenario is not going to be easy for India. As far as India is concerned, it's hosting the T20 World Cup, and preparations are well underway. And I think security, no other country, especially the bigger powers, Australia and England, who are always finicky about security, they haven't said a word about security.
No, but they are
Not at all.
they are not being threatened by Hindutva trolls, right?
No,
If there's anybody who's
that may be
threatened
the
right
case,
now,
but-
it is
but-
it's Bangladesh, and Bangladesh players have already been warned that if
No,
you
but
step into
also
India,
you have to,
if you
but
step
if
into
international
India,
tournament is
we
happening
will
in
show
India,
you, we will send you back
you-
from the airport. The things that are written online.
No. But listen, if you have to give credit that when an international tournament is happening in India, the Indian government is responsible enough, be it whoever it might be, the BJP or the Congress, whoever is always in power, will take all the necessary precautions.
No, we have
But
faith.
the
In fact,
fear
we have
has
the best
come from-
security
and the
systems. We
fear
have faith
for
in that.
Bangladesh's security, player security has come after the player has Mustafikur has been dropped from IPL. Not before that. Not once did the Bangladesh government say that we have security concerns. Over the last 6 months, 1 year since the tournament was being planned.
Okay. Now, my question to you is, ethically speaking, the BCCI gave a nod, picked Mustafizur Rahman for the auction, gave a nod. It was all formalized legally with consent of the BCCI. Then, when all the right-wing brigade erupted online and on social media platforms, the BCCI turned around. It seems like clearly they buckled. Do you believe it's ethical picking a player who's been part of several IPL seasons in the past and then dropping him like a hotcake soon after? Online backlash.
No, I feel it's something which BCCI was cornered into doing. As simple as that. When the auction
Nabila.
happened, KKR picked up
Nabila.
Rahman, but BCCI has been cornered. But by whom? Who runs the BCCI? I know Mithun Minhas is the president, but the fact of the matter is that always Indian cricket has been ruled by bosses beyond
Okay.
who are right there in the chair.
Nabila.
Also, the government has a huge role to play in it. The government in power, any government in power.
Yes, Mr.
Nabila, can I
Prakash.
come in?
Yeah.
Nabila, see, every decision, any political decision or any diplomatic decision, today we have asked Mustafir to go. Just because Mustafir goes, will all the killing stop in Bangladesh? This is the most important thing.
No.
Whenever we take a decision, we have to understand, by taking the decision, whatever the end result will be, achieve the end result. I am damn sure we will not achieve the end result. These are all knee-jerk reactions. And what my friend, senior journalist, sports journalist is telling, Pakistan is a different issue. Bangladesh is a different issue. Pakistan is banned from, even coming into, even for the, they cannot be, they cannot come and, they cannot be in the actions also. But here, this guy was part of the action. And in any sport, politics should be kept aside, How long you will
But
keep
the
on
Indian
doing
government
politics?
stand
in
has
any
always
sport?
been that in
We have
multilateral
grown-
tournaments,
we
where
all grown up
multinational tournaments,
as kids
Pakistan
saying
is
that
allowed to come.
No politics in sports, as simple as that. No politics in sports. We have seen during Cold War, Russia, boycotting, US boycotting Russia,
Yeah.
Israel was boycotted. Did it yield any result? It didn't yield any result.
Okay,
Today
let me bring in Ashok. Ashok, we know that a game is meant to unite. Even if bilateral ties are bitter, ultimately a game is expected to unite countries, hoping that over time, things will mend. Maybe because of the sport, even bilateral relations might get better, right? But the game is never touched. That's been the norm for generations, but it seems like it's slowly changing. With Pakistan, I certainly understand. There's been a long-standing tiff with the country. There's explicitly terrorism being pushed by Pakistan across the borders. But with Bangladesh, it's a very tricky situation right now, because on one hand, we are hosting the former ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. She is in our country right now. Bangladesh is angry. India has agreed to protect her here. So we should expect backlash. So keeping in mind, what's happening on both sides, the BCI, I believe, and many believe, should have stayed away from this. Should have acted, kept sportsmanship alive.
See, very simple, Nabila. I don't know, the Satya Prakash, or the history. When Saja Cup was happening continuously during early 90s, I think our sports journalists will know that when Saja Cup was happening, I remember watching as a small child, around 14, 15 years I was. Every time India used to lose. And every time there is a ball tampering or the wickets, a lot of things were happening. Immediately one day, BCCI took a call. I remember it was there in the paper. It said that we are not going to play any more Saja Cups. Who decided that? Was there an intervention from the central government then? P.V. Narasimha was the Prime Minister. Was there an intervention? See, just to blame the central government, that is not the case. Or let our sport journalists say. Might be, I don't know. See, what she is saying is, whenever there is an international repercussions in specific with Pakistan, might be, there is a central government. In Bangladesh, as per we understand, absolutely central government is very neutral, and we are waiting and watching the situation.
So then, in that case, you must agree then that the BCCI's decision has really dented its own revenue stream, because now they have banned IPL's screening in Bangladesh. Now it's a bad image to India when they say we don't feel safe in India anymore. So it's basically dented diplomatic relationship. You're saying it's an independent decision of the BCCI, but BCCI's decision has dented India-Bangladesh relationship further.
See, Bangladesh, we as a country, we have sponsored them even when their floods came.
We agree. No doubt. India has been a big brother to all our neighboring countries. Yes, we have unfortunately not had good neighbors. If they want to be crooks,
how can we help? If they want to be crooks, if they can't protect their minorities, if they want to kill them, if they want to rape their women, if they want to burn the men in the public, and if they want to make everybody unsafe, even their own Muslim brothers, they want to make unsafe, just because there is an international agenda.
Minorities in India also claim that they are being marginalized. Women in India feel unsafe. Women in India are being burnt alive. Honor killings are happening in India. Right? It's not a religious targeted attack in India. I agree. Not a religious targeted attack in India. I agree.
Why are we discussing all this when it's about India and Bangladesh cricket?
Government has a very bad record on protecting minorities in this country, and you want to protect minorities.
Okay, allow Mr. Ashok to speak. Please, Mr. Ashok, speak.
You can't protect minorities in your own country.
Allow Ashok to speak, please.
No, 1 second, Nabila. Do you feel unsafe? You don't feel unsafe. You
Absolutely
are as
not.
Part as me. You are as part. I am as part
100%, sir. I agree. But there are minorities who feel marginalized because of some extremist groups, even that we have in the country. Minorities here also feel threatened because of some extremist groups. I'm not saying it's a rampant attack on minorities. I feel absolutely safe, but it's a fact.
Only Jamaat's agenda,
who are
not
from neighboring states.
It's Jamaat's agenda.
BJP government has sponsored Bangladesh just because they are Muslims. Just because someone is a Muslim.
All right. I will end this as I'm short on time with Ms. Neeru. Ms. Neeru, I will take your word on this on a final note.
See, I'm not a politician. I'm not a political expert. I'm a sports writer. Let me be very clear that in the ambit of sports politics and the BCCI and the ICC and the BCCI and its neighbors, etc., I think this is a just posturing by Bangladesh in retaliation to Mustafizur being dropped by KKR. Now, the thing is whether its demand can be accepted or is manageable to shift its matches out of India, that remains to be seen. It's a very tough job. It has to be done. The decision has to be taken within a week, is what I'm told, and it's not going to be easy because that's a whole logistical nightmare. The entire group has to shift then.
How many nations play cricket, Miss Neeru? How many nations play cricket?
No, it's still very logistically effort.
No, I'm just asking you.
Let's be very honest. It's not a bilateral series. It's not simple as me playing against Bangladesh or Bangladesh playing against me. So there are issues, or last minute changes means a lot of things that have to be done backdoors by the ICC logistically. So, and I am very clear that the Bangladesh's decision to not play in India is more a retaliatory.
No, that is understood. It's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. If anything, they'll feel the most safe in India than anywhere else. It's a no-brainer that Bangladesh is just retaliating.
Flex its muscles against BCCI? I doubt.
It's a no-brainer that. Sir, I have no time, sir. No time. No time.
Whatever Bangladesh is saying, that will not affect India. But the point is, for such a small issue, was this needed? It is a failed foreign policy is all I'm saying.
Okay,
it's a small
we
issue.
have lost Ashok Gada, BJP spokesperson's connection. So I will end this right here, and I really appreciate all of you joining us on this. We will follow through. Thank you. I'm going to slip into a short break. We'll be right back on the other side on how women are being sexually exploited on AI. Online platform X has a chatbot called Grok that's now willing to take all your commands. If you say strip a woman, they're willing to strip a woman. AI is doing it for you. On the other side, stay with us.
इम्तियाज जी के फादर को बीमारी के कारण अचानक हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट होना पड़ा। पॉलिसी बाजार की टीम ने हॉस्पिटल पहुंचकर लाखों का क्लेम अप्रूव करवाने में पूरी हेल्प की। पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 550 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
2026, take notes. Manifesting. For my little Miss Sunshine, tickles and giggles. Also wanna be a biker chick this time. And dear 2026, only love for my people and myself. To manifest my best life, nature's cosmic energy.
Now mine, natural diamond intention pendants.
ನಮ್ಮ ಅರ್ನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ಗೂ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಕಪಿಲ್ ಚಿಟ್ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇಂದಾನೇ ಸಾಧ್ಯ.
ನನ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಕಪಿಲ್ ಚಿಟ್ಸ್.
ಕಪಿಲ್ ಚಿಟ್ಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕನಸಿನ ಸಾಕಾರ.
Red Fort explosion. Let's get you all the updates. Following the blast, there is of course a South Indian connection of Dr. Shaheen Shahid. Because this is news of national import, that search operations are underway across the entire Al Falah University campus. The blast killed 12 people. Prices, however, of Nandini ghee have been hiked. KMF has defended Nandini is the brand. I've been getting a lot of queries on my phone. What's for the people of Karnataka? Okay, you can play tennis as much as you want to, but I'm the umpire and I will say please. There is an eyeball to eyeball confrontation. Where is this going? What is the way out? The farmers, they can actually shake a nation. Both of you down, because I can also shout Prashant ji.
Welcome back. Now, Grok, which is an AI platform that is offered by the X platform, former Twitter, has really become a nuisance online with women complaining that their pictures are being morphed. Women are being made to wear bikinis. just based on commands by users. Has artificial intelligence become a weapon against women? Because what you are about to hear is not a fringe misuse. It's not a one-off prank. It's definitely not creativity here. And it's not a story about artificial intelligence for sure. This is a story about what we are allowing artificial intelligence to do with women in full public view. And that's nothing but harassment. Formerly known as Twitter, X platform now has a AI chatbot called Grok. And Grok will literally do anything you ask Grok to do. If you ask Grok to strip a woman nude, Grok will do it readily. It's disturbing. It often complies, never says no. In fact, on December 30th, a film journalist, and let me tell you, this is not a story about artificial intelligence at all. It's about abuse, about what happens when powerful technology is left without boundaries and women pay the price. X, formerly known as Twitter, there is something really disturbing that's now playing out in full public view. Users have now discovered that by simply tagging Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok, they could ask it to digitally undress real women. And the AI often complies. A normal photograph, fully clothed, publicly available photograph, within minutes can turn into a nude photograph, all because of, all with just prompts and comments requesting Grok to put her in a bikini, make her clothes transparent, make them kiss, and Grok just does not refuse. Grok spits out an image in barely a few seconds, exactly to what they want. Your wishes, my command. Grok is behaving in a manner where there is zero regulation. It generated altered, sexualized images, humiliating, explicit, and posted them publicly from its own handle. Imagine this was not even hidden. It's not private misuse. This is public sexual harassment happening in real time, AI powered. And it's not stopped with celebrities. Ordinary women are now being targeted. Private citizens are being targeted. In some cases, even minors. Perverts have been fully exposed here after Grok rolled out this edit image feature that allows users now to alter photographs using simple prompts like remove her clothes. Hindu goddesses have not been spared. This can't, at this point, we can assure you it's not humorous, it's not free speech, this is certainly not consensual. It's sexual exploitation at its worst, and all through artificial intelligence. The backlash now has spread fast. Europe has condemned it. UK, Britain has warned Elon Musk to pull down this feature or to fix it at the earliest. India also has stepped in. The IT ministry has written to X warning that Grok was being used to generate obscene and illegal content, violating privacy and Indian law. X has told, it's been told by the Indian government to take down all this content and act against the offenders and submit an action report within 72 hours or face consequences. That deadline has also passed now. We haven't really heard back from X. And what really makes it worse here is that instead of actual accountability, it seems like Elon Musk thinks this is funny. Elon Musk himself has posted image of himself in a bikini. Imagine. Only after public outrage did he warn users against creating illegal content. He feels this is funny. Why was this allowed in the first place? Why did safeguards fail? How can governments really act when tech platforms do not? Well, we're looking at technology stripping women here of their dignity. And anyone silent on this is only going to be seen as complicit. Let me bring in Khushbu Jain, advocate, Supreme Court and cyber law expert joining us. Kanish Gaur, founder, India Future Foundation and cyber security expert. Thanks, both of you. Khushbu, your take on this as a woman, what you see here is appalling. What I see is absolute disgust and just exposes all the perverts online. And so easily all the people with their fantasies, you know, prompting Grok to give them what they want to see, and Grok is fully complying. There's zero regulation and X has not even responded. Indian government gave them 72 hours and that's lapsed. No response.
Absolutely, Nabila. This ability to strip women or to strip children and generate a non-consensual sexual images is not or no more an entertainment. If you have to look into it, I would call this an industrial level or industrial scale digital sexual violence that humiliate the 50% population of women, destroying their reputation and making everybody posting a single picture, every one of them feeling unsafe because those harmless selfies will now convert into a harm that would be a forever harm that would be caused. So that kind of uproar, that kind of unsafe environment that has been created by the technology, a technology which is out there at a platform which is with everybody, is something which is an alarming issue right now. I mean, this is something that we are discussing today and it's happening, is something I am shocked. There were some apps which were already available on internet which you can download and have an undress kind of a situation, and I was alarmed with that. But happening at a platform like X is something which is scary as scary as it can be. And with that, coming to an aspect that when you have options of implementing guardrails, when you have wherewithals and mechanisms to put it, how can something like that come out and be there available for all of us to see? And why do these platforms have to wait for government to intervene? Isn't it visible out there clearly?
I'm just shocked, without any safeguards. An AI system is being deployed without any basic safeguards. But what power does the Indian government have to stop it right there? When multiple countries have now raised an alarm, Europe, UK particularly has said that they're going to take action directly, directing their order to Musk itself, saying that he's got to ensure the regulation on Grok at the earliest. How do you think illegally Indian government can clamp down on this? They can't have a freeway to this.
Okay, so the first and foremost is there was something called as a safe harbor protection which was given to all these platforms. With that safe harbor protection, 2021 new guidelines came up, and that safe harbor protection is no more an absolute safe harbor. It is a conditional safe harbor. That means if an illegal content, now these are all illegal. When a picture is posted without my consent, an explicit picture is posted, modesty of women, when children are involved, there are different laws which are being involved into it. These are illegal content. Now, when that is happening on a platform, and platform is very well aware about it and does not take any action or fail to take any action, is where that safe harbor protection can be taken away from these platforms, which is being provided under the IT Act under Section 79 and under Section 73. And if that safe harbor protection is taken away, is where, number one, they can be tried in the Indian criminal justice, in the criminal system, same as any other person who has created. Like, for example, I have done a criminal activity, but the provider was a platform. Platform was given a immunity. It won't be given the immunity. It can also be tried under the same sections in the same FIR. Number one. Number two, it can block those platforms for not complying with the Indian laws, and can go ahead and do that kind of an action also. And it's not just in India. I think these kind of laws are available all over when it comes to European nations or other places, that when it comes to implementation of the laws, or when it comes to illegal content on their platform, they were duty bound, or it's their duty to practically take down that content so that that content is not visible within their jurisdiction. And if the platform fails, I think then is where they lose their immunity all over. And that's what is going to happen in India, that they can lose their immunity, by which they can be tried in the same manner. Apart from this, I will tell you one more thing, Nabila, which you can talk about. I'm so sorry. Is something that here we are not just talking about the platform. We are talking also about the tool who is an enablement to create such kind of a content. Yeah. Here is where I want to say that, can we punish a tool? Can we punish a person behind the tool? Because the intent of the person is that that image can be created. How can you are providing an image to be created without having systems in place? Like, for example,
if can you punish the person who's commenting and asking for this picture to be?
Absolutely. Yes. One, he can be punished, but I want to go beyond that. Can a tool can be punished? A person who has created that tool, can he also be punished? A person who is asking for it, yes, he can be punished. If it's not his own picture, like, for example, if I want to put my picture and I want to see myself, absolutely fine. I have an option to do so. But can I do that with your picture? No, I cannot do that with your picture without your consent. Absolutely, is where I can be punished. But I want to come on the part that, can that tool, a person behind that tool, can that person be punished? Is something I think they should discuss.
I apologize. I have barely 30 seconds. In a nutshell, if you can tell me what has gone wrong here. And X hasn't even responded to the 72-hour deadline given by the Indian government. Are they liable? Can the Indian government even shut down X just based on this? This is absolute sexual harassment online.
It has been non-compliant to Indian IT laws for a very long time. They don't even have a proper team right now. With the firing that had happened in X, right now the representation of a proper policy team or trust and safety team is completely lacking in India right now. The erstwhile team doesn't exist. So X continues to non-comply to significant social media intermediary guidelines which were introduced by the government in April 2022. And it can lose its safe harbor protection right now. What X is doing is dangerous not only for women and children, it's dangerous for the entire Indian society because the same information is then being used for bullying, for trolling women, and it's not source of an entertainment. So today, X could be taken to court by the government and X handle can be cut off.
Yeah.
There are countries which have banned X. I'm sure government doesn't want to ban a company where like X from India, which has so many crores of followers in this country, but X will really have to pull up its socks to ensure there's proper compliance of the Indian IT laws and the law of the land takes precedence over willful violation which is being done by X right now.
All right. Thanks very much, Kanishk and Kushbu, for joining us on this. All right, a quick look at all our top stories on Day to Night. Let's start with Tamil Nadu. It seems like there's some relief for Hindu groups. After months of tension, protests and tragedy, Madras High Court has now put the Thiruparankundram Deepam dispute to rest. A division bench of Justice G. Jayachandran and Justice K.K. Ramakrishnan has upheld the earlier order allowing Karthigai Deepam to be lit on the stone pillar atop the Thiruparankundram hill. The court made one thing clear: this issue was unnecessarily politicized. This is what the court says, asking how can there be communal tensions just by lighting a lamp? And it seems like the state government has tacitly supported violence, if at all there was. The judges said the district administration missed a chance to reduce tensions through dialogue and mediation. Yes, the Deepam can be lit, but with conditions now. Because the hill is a protected monument, the ritual must follow the law, be conducted in consultation with the Archaeological Survey of India, and public access will be restricted. The bench also rejected law and order fears, calling them ridiculous, and said unrest would occur only if it was state-sponsored. The court has dismissed claims that Agama Shastra bars the ritual and found basically no proof there that the stone pillar belongs to a dargah. The case began with a petition by Hindu Tamil Party leader Rama Ravi Kumar with temple authorities stating that Deepam has been lit here for over a century. Though permission was granted in December, it was not implemented, triggering protests. Controversy later turned tragic with a 40-year-old man dying by self-immolation because he was distressed that he couldn't light the lamp there. Reacting to the verdict, Union Minister Piyush Goyal has also accused the Tamil Nadu government of targeting Hindus and Sanatan Dharma. All right. Now, let's take you through Thalapathy Vijay and his film that now seems to have a delay. CBI action and cinema trouble are closing in on actor politician Thalapathy Vijay. The Central Bureau of Investigation has summoned TVK chief Vijay for questioning in the Karur stampede case, even as his final film, Jana Nayagan, faces uncertainty days before its release. The CBI has asked Vijay to appear at its Delhi headquarters on Jan 12th. The summons is linked to the September 27 stampede at a TVK public meeting in Karur, where at least 41 people were killed, over 80 injured. Vijay was present at the event when the tragedy unfolded. The agency is now questioning key individuals who were at the venue as part of its investigation. The probe was ordered by the Supreme Court, which asks the CBI to establish what really caused the stampede and fixed responsibility. Court has also set up a 3-member monitoring committee headed by former Supreme Court Judge Justice Ajay Rastogi to ensure investigation remains independent and fair in this regard. It is significant that the demand for a CBI inquiry originally came from Vijay's own party, TVK. At the same time, now trouble is brewing on the cinema front for Vijay. Vijay's upcoming film Jana Nayagan is still awaiting clearance from the Central Board of Film Certification, even though the makers submitted the film nearly a month ago after post-production. With certification pending, advanced bookings have also not opened up, putting the planned January 9th release for this film in serious doubt. The delay has forced the producers of the film to move court, questioning the hold-up in the censor board. Now, the stakes are high. Jana Nayagan is expected to be Vijay's last film before he steps fully into active politics, which he already has. The questions only mounting whether this is a political spin-off before elections in Tamil Nadu, which Vijay Thalapathi's party is contesting. Now, after months of uncertainty, Indian football finally has a date to look forward to. Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia has announced that the Indian Super League will kick off on Feb 14th. All 14 clubs, including Mohun Bagan and East Bengal, will participate in the delayed 2025-26 season. This announcement comes after a turbulent phase for Indian football. The league has been stalled since July, remember. It was stuck in a deadlock. It was over the master rights agreement. During this period, players were left without matches, clubs struggled to plan, and fans were left waiting. Imagine they didn't even have a sponsor, and they had no game, and there's just a complete disarray within the Football Association. Actor Northeast United FC co-owner John Abraham publicly called the situation as a massive shame, backing Indian and foreign players who even appealed to FIFA, warning that the sport in India was heading towards permanent paralysis. On Jan 1st, 13 of the 14 clubs agreed to return, provided the Indian Football Federation waived participation fees and handled operational costs. That push, combined with government support now, has finally broken that deadlock. For players, it means careers are back on track. For clubs, it means survival. For fans, it means football is back. After months of struggle and silence, Indian football gets a fresh start. It seems like the Messi tour must have been the real push. In a tragic incident in Madhya Pradesh, over 200 parrots have died last week of suspected food poisoning on the banks of the Narmada River in Khargon's Badwa area. Officials say that the deaths occurred over the past 4 days, sparking panic after fears of bird flu, which has now been ruled out. Wildlife and veterinary teams have found rice, small pebbles, and traces of possible pesticide exposure in the birds' stomachs, suggesting that improper feeding and contaminated food were the likely causes. Forest officials have banned feeding near the bridge itself and are keeping a strict watch on the area. Veterinarians warn that feeding leftover or cooked food to birds can be fatal to their digestive systems, and ongoing investigation are continuing in Jabalpur to confirm the exact cause. The shocking loss raises many questions about well-meaning visitors unknowingly endangering wildlife. Well-meaning visitors unknowingly endangering wildlife. That's sad. Now, we're looking at 200 medical students in Gaza. In the midst of war and devastation, more than 200 medical students in Gaza have marked their graduation this week. A ceremony of resilience held against the ruins of Al-Shifa Medical Complex there, the city's largest hospital. Remember, universities, hospitals have all been brought down to rubble all through that war between Israel and Gaza. And we see that universities are completely in shambles, but here you have 200 students who managed to have their graduation ceremony amid the rubble. Despite nearly 2 years of conflict, repeated displacement and attacks on hospitals and universities, these students completed their studies, often learning in hospital corridors that they studied in, temporary shelters where they were volunteering also to treat patients during that time of war. United Nations and international agencies report that Gaza's universities and health facilities have been severely damaged and destroyed, with hundreds of healthcare workers detained and facilities repeatedly targeted, worsening an already critical shortage of medical professionals. For graduates, this modest ceremony is more than a milestone. It's a symbol of courage, defiance, and commitment to serve a population in urgent need of care, even in this face of unimaginable hardship. That's it for me here. Thanks very much for tuning in.
सामने एक नया सुपरमार्केट खुलने वाला है। क्या करें कि मेरे पुराने ग्राहक भी रहें और मुझे नए ग्राहक भी मिल जाएं?
देखो, आप एक चाय कॉर्नर लगा सकते हो। चाय पीने पुराने कस्टमर्स रुकेंगे और नए कस्टमर्स भी आएंगे। इसके अलावा बिल्स और सेल्स देखकर हमें कितना